Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dolany TV. I'm Tyson Dolany. Of course, for some of you, welcome back. For some of you, welcome to the channel for the first time. I hope you find some time today to check out some other stuff. But that said, a little bit off topic for a lot of you that are returning, but that is also to a very important key. Nonetheless, a very important discussion to be having today. Today, January 29th, is Bell Let's Talk Day. Not often I wake up with you guys, but today, ahead of Calgary versus Edmonton, the Battle of Alberta, all that, we're going to put that aside for this morning. We'll get to the game preview around 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. But for right now, what we have to get to is, of course, Bell Let's Talk Day. If you don't know what Bell Let's Talk Day is, it's Bell's big day in support of mental health initiatives. And on Bell Let's Talk Day, this straight from the Bell Let's Talk website, Bell will donate more towards mental health initiatives in Canada by contributing 5 cents for every applicable text, call, tweet, social media view, and use of Facebook frame or Snapchat filter. So if you're anywhere digitally connected, you are covered for Bell Let's Talk Day today. Of course, you know I'm big on Twitter, so if you notice, I'm not saying I'm big on Twitter, I'm just big on using Twitter, so you'll notice quite a volume of retweets on my Twitter account today, because each time you tweet and retweet using Bell Let's Talk or watch the official video on Twitter, Bell will donate 5 cents towards Canadian mental health initiatives. The same thing on Facebook if you use their frame or watch their official video. Each time you watch the official video on Instagram, Bell will donate 5 cents. Each snap using the Let's Talk filter or a view of the official video on Snapchat will, again, donate 5 cents. On YouTube, this is not an official Bell Let's Talk video, so I encourage you, if you're watching this right now, to seek out the actual real official Bell Let's Talk video and get going there. And of course, for text messages, if you're on a Bell Mobility customer plan, every text you send will be a 5 cent donation towards the cause today. That said, same thing with phone calls. If you're on Bell, Bell Alliant, or Bell MTS, 5 cents per mobile or long distance call made. So today, ladies and gentlemen, a very good day to get out there, talk with your friends you haven't talked to in a long while, check up on friends and family, and of course, in wake of the Kobe Bryant news, we know how precious life is, so make sure you're checking in on everybody you possibly can today in support of mental health issues and awareness, because let me tell you, today is a very important day on the calendar for those of us who suffer from mental health issues, not initiatives, or mental health, whatever you want to say. As let me tell you, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit here in this video and further explain things. But one thing, if you're a returning viewer to Dolany TV, you may have heard the phrases I've used, like I'm crazy. What do I know, right? Like stuff like that, where I'm using the term crazy to describe myself in relation to me not exactly knowing things or claiming to know something not a lot of people know about the Edmonton Oilers. Well, let me tell you, that is not out of just because I'm trying to make it for effect. That is a true statement. 100%. I maybe I should backtrack a little bit, because the term crazy isn't exactly what you should be calling somebody with a mental health issue, but it is what it is, right? I own it and I use it as my strength. That's maybe my overarching theme of any mental health story I can tell you about myself, is the simple fact that I use my mental health issues as a big time strength. That is what motivates me. That's what gets me going. That's what powers me to do what I do in life every single day. So for those of you that don't know, it's been since 2018 since I posted a kind of Bell Let's Talk video, so that's good track back. That's long before I was doing Oilers videos full time, so a lot of you may not have ever heard any of this coming out of my mouth before, so I very much so invite you to sit back, kick back this morning if you're sitting at your desk at work, or if you're sitting at the break room at school, and just take a moment to listen, because I know this message will resonate with a lot of people. It's not just one or two people here or there in a community or ecosystem, whatever you want to call our communities nowadays, have mental health issues. A lot of people have mental health issues, so taking a second, and Bell Let's Talk Day's big thing is talking about them, and of course bringing it to light. And that's the thing, is when you start realizing how many people suffer through with their mental health, it really gets scary out there. So for me, I was diagnosed manic bipolar in 2011 after a series of very troubling events that led to the diagnosis. Finally got some great luck through the mental health system in Alberta, found a phenomenal, absolutely unreal psychiatrist in Lloydminster, got a very good diagnosis, got a very good prescription for managing it, and here I am today. Now that's the short long of it for sure, but it's been a journey, right? Up till 2018, I had gone through high school, right, from 2011 to 2014. Then I had gone through college. I had suffered 4 months of a lot of self-doubt, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just right on collapsing in on myself because of my mental health issues kind of sparking up again and creating a lot of problems, myself creating a lot of problems for myself that didn't actually exist. And then, you know what, ended up back in Cold Lake. It was the last place I wanted to be. At one point when I got back into Cold Lake, I had a buddy, and we anyone that knows Cold Lake, there's the Beaver River Hill out towards Bonnyville, and trust me, there was a lot of times I was risking my life getting in that vehicle, but I was ready to do it every single time. There was, without a doubt, every single time I kind of look forward, if something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world, even though it is to me. But that's where I was. I was in a very troubling place at that point. Thankfully, things kind of bounced back, and then over the next 2 years in Cold Lake, so 2017, 2018, really things just went up, down, and all around. And by the time it came time to get out of Cold Lake, I was in a very bad spot mentally. Couldn't get out of my own way, and you know what? It was best decision to move somewhere, fresh start, and all that. And got down to Southern Alberta, and the problem with Southern Alberta, as great of a start as it's been for me right now, I've got my head straight, I've got a great job, I've got YouTube going on the side, everything is fantastic down here in Southern Alberta. Problem is, I left my mental health supports in Lloydminster. I left behind the greatest support system I had in my battle against bipolar disorder, and that really has set a tone for a lot of issues that I didn't think could crop up over time, but they did, right? If you ignore your mental health, it only gets worse, and let me tell you from experience, it has. The past, since 2018, so what's that been, almost a year and a half now, I've gone without actually having a real psychiatrist appointment, and it's been a journey. I've been trying to manage on my own, of course, staying regular with my medication and all that. But no matter how good a medication you're on, at some point, things do get out of hand to an extent. And actually, my best case scenario of that is back in February last year. I don't know if a lot of you noticed, if you've been around the channel since February last year, I took a span of probably a week straight off of YouTube just because I wasn't myself. I wasn't even realistically here. I wasn't really coherent. I, at one point that week, ended up in the emergency room in Airdrie, to get checked over because my heart was racing, and then all of a sudden would feel like I've got no blood flowing, and I'd get lightheaded, and it just felt really bad. The heart wasn't beating right, and it was beating really hard and fast at times, and something just wasn't right. And it actually turned out it had been feeling like that for 3 days, and it turned out I was suffering from a prolonged anxiety attack. And realistically, you ask me, I had dealt with mental health issues for 6 years prior, 7 years, 8 years prior, and I couldn't even tell you that was a thing. I'd never experienced that before. But what I was going through in life at the time, and not having the mental health checkups as I would normally would with a psychiatrist every 4 months, it got out of hand. Even with medication, it got out of hand. And it just took to that point realizing I need to take ownership here, and I need to get back on track and make the effort to make sure I am well. And that's the big thing, is taking ownership of your own life. And that's one thing from 2018. If you're asking me, Tyson, from the last time you did the update in 2018 to now the update in 2020, what are you learning? And what I learned is simply, you've got to take ownership for yourself. And I know it's tough with somebody with mental health issues. It is very tough to take ownership of your own health. But you know what? That's key number one, is taking ownership and taking pride in the fact that you can be your biggest difference maker when it comes to making sure you're supported. For me, what does that mean? Since that incident, February 2019, I sought out help via my family doctor, then via the nurse acquainting him, and just going through the process to find a psychiatrist down here who can do, in conjunction with a family doctor, a good regimen of making sure I'm taken care of. And that, of course, at the same rate, also takes ownership on me to reach out as soon as there is an issue. Because let me tell you, as somebody who's dealt with mental health issues since age 14, I've run the gamut of everything realistically I think you could possibly have go wrong in the mental health world. Now, obviously, to an extent, right? I'm not talking the far extremes, and hopefully, I hope I never get there, and I hope I never hear of any of my friends getting there, because it is heartbreaking. To me, it is heartbreaking because I've been very fortunate and very lucky. I've had a very good support system all my life. My mom's been incredible. A lot of my family has been incredible. Like I said, the psychiatrist in Lloyd was incredible. And I've been very lucky. But a lot of people aren't that lucky. So today, like I said, what I want you to do in support of Bell Let's Talk Day, in support of your friends, your family, your coworkers, whoever it is in your life, reach out, talk to them today. Because every second you listen, every second you create a conversation makes a difference. Let me tell you, absolutely does. So guys, today, as we ramp up for the Battle of Alberta, depending on what time you're watching this video, I tell you, get on the phone, talk to somebody. If you're watching the hockey game, call somebody up that you normally wouldn't, but you know is watching the hockey game, and talk to them while you watch the hockey game. Because let me tell you, today is a good day to come together and just celebrate the human spirit, because mental health issues are a very scary thing to tackle, but together we can do it. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Stolny TV. This has been the Bell Let's Talk Day special. I will catch you a little bit later on tonight for the Battle of Alberta. I am up on out of here.